What are you doing?
I'm filling the background with patterns in celebration of the upcoming Cricut Design Space Fall 2015 update. It has patterns in it.
It's really cool, so let's show them.
It's a great idea, Ken.
Great.
What? Hi, and welcome to Crafts by Two. I'm George. What are you doing?
Getting rid of the patterns.
So I dropped it.
So he's George.
I'm George.
And I'm Ken. And Cricut has given us a beta preview of the upcoming Fall 2015 update to Cricut Design Space.
And it has patterns in it. And you don't even need a brush.
We don't have a specific release date yet for this fall update, but Cricut's aiming for sometime in September. As soon as we have details, we'll let you know.
Isn't today September 1st?
Well, yeah, but sometime in September. That's what they said.
But it could be like today, because today is sometime in September.
I think if it was today, they would have told us.
Oh. I'm still going to use my brush, I guess.
So with the new update, you're able to apply patterns to your shapes, to text.
I love it.
And you can upload your own patterns. You're not limited to just what's in Cricut Design Space.
It takes print then cut to a whole nother level.
And you can do patterns, so like chevrons and lines, but you can just do photos too. So anything, like a photo of this background, you could put it into a shape.
Or my face. You could put my face into a shape too.
Yeah, I want to put his face in a shape sometimes.
What?
George has been doing some how-to minutes where he gives quick overviews of all the features.
That's something new that we've brought to the Crafts by Two channel. Short videos called how-to minutes, when we want to highlight things, not just in Cricut Design Space, but anything that we review. So the how-to minutes are really quick. So if you don't have time to watch the in-depth right away, but you want to see what all the buzz is about, you can watch a how-to minute. It gives you the basic overview of how the feature or function or product or whatever we do in a how-to minute works.
And later on, if you just forget, you can watch one of the how-to minutes and see really quickly how to do it without having to watch a whole video or scan trying to find the information you're looking for.
Yep. No paintbrush needed.
Okay.
I like my paintbrush.
Okay.
So Ken, why don't you paint them a picture of all the new features in the Design Space update?
Okay.
Do you want my brush?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Here we are in the fall update to Design Space. Off the bat, it doesn't look too different, but when you create a new project, you'll notice that the grid lines are on by default. And you can toggle that in the corner with the toggle grid button. The other thing you'll notice that's a little different is the layers panel is more of a modern layout with a gray color to it. So just a few little visual tweaks. The big news with this fall update is the ability to apply patterns to your text and to shapes. I'm going to insert a shape to work with. I've gone ahead and put some leaf shapes into my canvas, because what better way to show off a fall update about patterns than with some nice fall leaves? To apply a pattern to a shape, you select it, come over to your layers panel, and you need to change it from cut to print. Now you can choose your colors like you could before, but you can now choose patterns. And you can browse through the panel and see all your different choices. Right now I'm on a beta preview, so there are a limited number of patterns available for us to choose from. In the release, you're going to have tons of patterns to choose from. So I can choose a pattern by clicking on it, and it gets applied to my design. It's pretty simple. So click, go to the layers attributes, change it from cut to print, patterns, and choose your design. You're not stuck with just the basics for these patterns. For example, I can select it, go back by clicking on the attributes on the layers, and at the bottom I can choose edit. Now I can change the scale of my pattern if I want it to be big or small. When you make it small though, you'll notice that the repeating edges of your design start coming in. So you might want to just make sure you don't have any rough edges when you scale too small. So I want it so you can see kind of all the colors. And then there's pan, so you can move that pattern around, up and down, left and right. And again, just keep an eye out for the edge of your pattern creeping in there. And you can rotate it, and you can mirror it, flipping it upside down or flipping it left and right. That way you can make sure that the pattern's fitting your image just the way you want. So even though they're called patterns, as you can see, I'm able to put in patterns and photos. To help you choose your patterns, Cricut has given you a couple other features on that layer attributes. So going back to my patterns, at the bottom you can filter your collections, and collections could be styles that Cricut has already defined and themes, or you can look for things that are on a specific cartridge. And remember, this is a beta preview, so only a few cartridges are showing up. You can also choose to filter by ownership, so my patterns would be things that I have in my subscription or I've paid for, and uploaded would be just the images I uploaded. You can see here there's 2 that I've uploaded, so if I choose that, now it's just showing the 2 images that I uploaded while I was beta testing things. You can also filter by color, which is very helpful if you're trying to find a specific kind of color and theme to fit your pattern. Clear All will clear both the collection and the filter choices to get you back to seeing everything. If you've changed your mind about a pattern, like I've got the fleur-de-lis here, you can go back to your layers and get the layer attributes and click Restore, and that puts it back to being a basic shape. You'll also notice on the Layers panel it went from being print all the way back to being cut again. You can also apply patterns to your text. So here I've typed something out, and before you apply a pattern, you want to make sure that you've got your font chosen and that you've proofread everything and everything's spelt correctly and the way you want it. After you add a pattern to your text, you're not going to be able to go back and edit it again. You can resize it and rotate it just like you could any image, but once you apply your pattern, it's going to be an image that you can't edit anymore. So I select my text, and just like a shape, I go to the layers and change it from cut to print. And I can switch to patterns. Cricut has given me a warning. Just like I said, applying a pattern is going to convert this to an image, and you're not going to be able to edit what you've typed. Clicking continue, you saw in the background that it converted it to an image, and you'll notice the layers are gone over here and it became a welded image. Now I can choose a pattern to fill it with. Let's go with this one. And there you go. So it's no longer text. I can't edit it, but I can resize it. I can rotate it. I could weld this with other things or attach it. I just can't change the font or change the text itself. I can change the pattern though. So if I don't like it, I can switch to a different pattern or come down to edit and use those attributes to scale and pan and rotate my pattern to make it fit just how I want it to. You don't just have to use Cricut patterns though. You're able to upload your own photos and patterns to use as pattern fills in Design Space. Just come over to Upload Images, and there's a new choice to upload a pattern fill. Patterns can be JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs, or bitmap files, BMPs. And there's also a little note that you'll find them in the Layer Attributes panel under Patterns. They won't show up here at the bottom in your uploaded image library, and you won't be able to search and insert image for those patterns. They'll only show up on that Patterns attribute in the Layers panel. So let's go ahead and upload, and I can click Browse. I'm going to use some digital papers that our friend Melody Lane is making. She's got all these really cool painterly papers, and this is the Lola set and the Amy, which is all black and white, and then Becky, which has some nice different patterns. I like that Lola with the more painterly effects though, so I'm going to choose one of those. So I'm going to choose my image, and it uploads, takes a moment to transfer over to Cricut, and you're given a preview here, a thumbnail, you can give it a name, and then you can choose to put it in the themes that Cricut has and the styles, as well as choosing colors. So for the colors, I'm going to say this is more red and orange. So if I'm searching for those colors, this will come up as a choice. Not sure how these other ones are going to fit in. I could say this is textures. And I don't think any of these themes really fit. So you don't have to choose a theme or a style or a color. The only thing that's required is a name. So once you have that all set, click Save, and it takes a moment to upload. And it just gave us a little reminder across the top that the image will be in the patterns on the layers attributes. It's not going to show up down here. So I'm done. I can click Cancel or just click on Upload Images again to get that out of the way. Now I can apply the pattern to this heart. So going to the layer attributes, I'm switching it from cut to print and going to patterns, and now at the top is that new Lola pattern that I uploaded from Melody Lane. And I think I want to move it around a little, get rid of this kind of purple edge. So edit, and then I can pan that. Oops, let's go the other way. Scaled at 100%, I'm getting those lines at the edge, so I'm going to zoom in some, and now just move that over. I could just type this in, but the arrows help you judge things a little differently. And I'm hitting that edge again here. So zoom in a little more, give me a little more to work with. I always go the wrong direction. And I just want to get a little bit more of that texture. There we go. So there you go. I was able to upload that pattern and apply it to this heart really easily. Being able to apply patterns to your shapes and your text really brings out so many more options. Print and cut let you do a lot before, but now it's even easier. Let's say you want to delete a pattern that you uploaded. If it's not in your image library, how can you delete it? Well, first you have to insert a shape. Can be anything. And then come over to that layer's attributes. Switch it to print so you can get to the patterns, and now you can go and click on the eye to get information about it, and then click delete. It'll ask if you're sure, and you can say yes, and now that's removed from your collection. Now if you're paying attention earlier, you might have noticed that upload images has changed a little bit. It's smarter. When you click upload images, you no longer choose between a basic or vector image. Now it's just image and a pattern fill. Using image, you can choose what they called basic before and vector all in one step. Images can be JPEGs, GIF, PNGs, BMPs, SVGs, or DXF files, just like before, but you don't have to choose. Design Space figures it out. Now I can click Upload Image, Browse, and I've got a little scarecrow picture. And these features are all very similar to what you're used to in Design Space. I'm going to leave this as a complex image, and this was a PNG with a transparent background, so it's already all cut out for me. If I do preview, now preview shows this gray shape with a dark outline instead of just a red outline like it did before. I find this easier to read, and you can really see the edges. Toggling preview back, there's my image. Now when you click continue, this last step shows you the print and cut image, or if you want to choose just a cut image. If I didn't want the scarecrow picture, I just wanted shape, I can choose save it as a cut image. Previously in Design Space, you had that checkbox down in the corner that was sometimes hard to remember to check, and it had a thing about preserve original image within shape recommended for print and cut projects. I found that a little confusing sometimes, and it was kind of buried down in the corner, and I would forget about it sometimes. I think this is much clearer. Now I can know I'm choosing that colorful print and cut image to save. The image name and tag options are just like they were previously. So now I can save that. And it's in my image library for me to use. So Cricut really did simplify things, making it easier. You don't have to figure out if it's vector or PNG. You just upload your image and Cricut figures it out for you. One new feature that's helpful in the fall update is the ability to figure out where an image is from. I know there's so many times I share a project and then everybody's asking, oh, what cartridge was this on? Where did you get that image? Now you can click on an image, come over to the attributes, and up top there's a little eye icon. Click that and it tells you the image name, what cartridge it's from, and if you own it or not. Here it says subscribed. If I didn't own it, it would show the price, and I could jump right to it and purchase it. That's going to make it so much easier to figure out where images came from, or if somebody had a part in a project that was just perfect for what you're looking for, you don't have to bug them about where it came from. You can find out exactly what image it is. With this update, there's also been a few changes to slice and weld. When slicing, Design Space will create 4 pieces instead of 3 like it used to. Now if I choose my 2 pieces and slice, I have a piece there, a piece here, that piece, and this piece. Previously, this piece on the bottom where they overlapped wouldn't have been left in Design Space. you would have had just this one, the overlap on top, and then the other piece. This is helpful with patterns because it leaves you those extra pieces. So I choose my items and slice, and I have the two outer pieces, and then I can choose which pattern I want to keep of that extra slice. And weld now also works with patterns. Just like before, when you take two pieces or more and weld them, the welded shape takes on the bottommost or furthest back layer. So my back layer was blue, so my welded shape becomes blue. If I send this square to the back with Melody Lane's pattern on it and choose to weld it with this leaf fill pattern, everything takes on the pattern from the back, that Melody Lane pattern that I uploaded. Now, when you're cutting your projects, there's a wide range of material sizes to choose from. You're not limited to just the 12 by 12 and 12 by 24 that you could do in Design Space on your desktop before. And you can choose them for each different layer. I'm personally really excited about the 8.5 by 11 because that's what a lot of our paper collection is in. Now I don't have to be juggling things and guessing where the lines are. I can just choose 8.5 by 11 and go. As you can see, it goes from 4 by 6 through steps of sizes all the way up to 12 by 24. When you're ready to go with print and cut, things are a little bit different here too. When you click go, instead of having a print and go button down below, it'll just say go. And when you're ready to go, you'll actually be printing each page individually and then cutting it. This will make it easier if you're using multiple print and cut pages in your projects. You won't have to worry about which page, which order if you've forgotten. You're only going to be working with one at a time. And it's also helpful if you maybe had an issue with your printer or things didn't cut right, maybe you had it on the wrong setting. Now you can print just that one page over and cut it instead of messing with your printer settings and trying to get it to print just what you're doing so you're not wasting paper. I think this is a pretty cool improvement.
You covered a lot of good information.
Thank you.
If you missed the how-to minutes and want to check them out, they're in the description below, both on YouTube and on our webpage. Yeah, I see them right down there.
We're really excited about this upcoming fall update.
I can't wait. It's a lot of fun already, just in the beta preview.
And just so you know, this is a beta preview. Things might change a little bit by the time you actually get a chance to use it, sometime in September.
So if you're not subscribed, you'll want to be subscribed so you get all the news right up front, just like this stuff. And you'll get notified about contests and how-to minutes and contests that I can't win. And
Our videos. And you can subscribe on YouTube using the subscribe button down below if you're watching it there. If you're on our website, over there will be a link that says YouTube also. And if you click on that and it doesn't do anything, you're already subscribed. So you're done.
It's all numb like it's been in the internets.
So if you do click on it and it asks you for your email address, that means you're subscribing.
You can also follow us on other things on the internets, like Twitter, Pinterest, Patreon. We did a couple Periscopes, so we're even on Periscope now, and you get to see sneak preview stuff. Maybe we're out shopping, maybe we're working on a top secret project.
Not top secret.
Well, no, because Melody's always around. She blabs.
To catch those periscopes, you want to subscribe to us on Twitter, because an announcement will go out if we start sharing live video.
Yep. So all that information is also in the description below, whether you're on YouTube or on our webpage. Ken, can we wrap it up? I want to go play with the beta preview more.
Sure, we've done a lot of work making tons of videos for the preview. Now it's time to play.
Yeah, I want to go play. So until next Tuesday, or probably sooner, because we've done some projects that were supposed to come out today, but then we put them off putting them out today because of this. What? So we'll see you soon, I guess. Bye.
Bye.
I want to go play. Let's go.
So we don't have... I don't want to say so. So instead of... Stop saying so.
Stop saying so.
But like I said, this video is a detailed overview, and I walk you through it.
You saying I can't walk them through it?
If you want to. It's just you walk slower than I do. It would be a really long video.
I stroll.
Saunter.
Stroll.
Crawl.
Stroll.
Yep.
There it is.
Or on YouTube, not really on Facebook.
Oh, let's do that over. If you missed the how-to minutes, they're in the link below. They're in the link. Yep.
The description. So, I don't want to say so.
Shouldn't pretend to be asleep. And I'll just be like, wow, that was really detailed.
That's kind of rude.
Is it?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Start over.
Good thing we rehearsed.
Shut up.